Okay, so we're going to jump right in. Roman, thank you for taking the time to visit with me today, and we're going to talk about the Colostrum Bank with the Kentucky Thoroughbred Farm Managers Club. So you're on the board of the Kentucky Thoroughbred Farm Managers Club.
That's correct.
You're serving on the committee in charge of the Colostrum Bank.
Yeah, I am the second in charge. Ned Toffee from Spencer Farm is the chairman.
Good. So what is the Colostrum Bank?
So that's something that has been always around the Kentucky community, horse community in around here in central Kentucky. We are working with Haggart's Equine, Haggart's Institute, and Riddle to try to collect colostrum from different breeders and create a bank and save it for mares and breeders that need it at the time of distress, when for different reasons, if a newborn needs some colostrum, then there is some availability around here.
Got it. So who can donate to the Colostrum Bank?
Everybody who owns a mare, pretty much, who's had a foal and have colostrum available, so they can donate. They can collect the colostrum, and it's very easy to donate to Riddle or Haggart's.
Right,
Pharmacy.
so both of those big pharmacies here in town, that's fantastic, or
Yes.
big veterinary institutes, good.
Yes.
So anybody can donate, and we encourage everybody to donate. On the flip side, if you find yourself in a bad spot and you need colostrum, who can utilize colostrum?
Yeah, so everybody can utilize colostrum when they are in need, when a foal, when a newborn, for any kind of reason, cannot get the colostrum from his mother, they can contact Haggart's or Riddle and get in contact with them, and they are going to provide colostrum as long as they have it. And that's the biggest issue is in every start of a of a foaling season. We have found over the years that at the beginning of the foaling season, we are always low on colostrum. And that's why I think that's what we are talking today. We want to make sure that everybody understands that we can give at any time and make sure that we don't run into those problems. Because some of those big farms are, organized as such. They have a bank. But when you have a smaller group of mares, or if for some reason you are low that year, it's always good to rely on the rest of the community and those two pharmacy.
That's why we're a community. It's the equine community. Yeah,
That's right.
We do that to support each other. So now some farms might go, colostrum is very important. Shouldn't I keep it myself? But if they donate it, then they can withdraw from the bank still.
That's correct. So first of all, things change in the horse business, even in the breeding or even technology, but some things will be there. It's the need of colostrum. Colostrum is gold, and we do understand that it is very hard sometimes for brood mare managers or farm managers to think about over mares, over foals that they don't know instead of theirs first. And we don't ask them to undermine their own bank. We do understand that a mare can produce a lot of colostrum, and we do understand that most of us do not collect as much as we should. And but we also understand that we all have a bank, and most of us probably have a little bit too much. We do understand that it's very hard to give away because we always care that we may have a bad year and we may need more than we usually do. But there was a lot of misconception out there regarding the level of colostrum that needed to be donated. So that's where we are going back to discuss a little bit more to everybody, to re-explain to everybody when we can give any colostrum. And if you have colostrum that is 1 or 2 years old and you want to keep this one, those ones we understand that. But if you have some older ones that you are not planning to use, somebody else could use it.
And I thought that was interesting. You can take older colostrum that you've had for a while, donate it, and they'll do a testing on it to make sure it's still valuable, still able to be utilized.
That is correct. So the funny thing is the misconception started with me when I started to research. I thought that the colostrum had to test at a certain level and had to be 1 or 2 years old. But I find after this, talking more with the pharmacists and the people that are in charge of collecting, testing, and redistributing the colostrum, that actually the requirement for the colostrum can be, few years old. I personally gave 2020 and 2021 colostrum, and they were accepted.
Oh, fantastic.
And I wasn't even, in the past, before I researched it, I didn't think my colostrum was good enough. And next thing you know, those 3 pints are going to help a newborn somewhere.
Right. Yeah, that's fantastic. So you probably don't want people trying to milk a mare into a gallon milk jug or something. I believe there's kits available.
That's right, yeah. So you can collect pints in Haggards or in Rudel. And the requirement, it will be better if the pint is completely full. It's hard to deal with half pint. Mm-hmm. And you can turn them to those two institutes. And, the requirement is pretty simple. The IgG has to be over 5,000. And there's a need to be an eye screen negative. If your colostrum measure 22 or 30 or 18 at the clinic, at the farm, don't worry about it. Just provide it to the pharmacies, and they will make the test. And they are going to make sure that the colostrum is good enough. This is not your responsibility to know if your colostrum is good enough or not. And they are going to defer over there if it's frozen, and they are going to test it and give it away. So there's not any downside of giving what you may not think you are going to need, because if it's not good enough, it's just going to be displayed, and nobody will never, never be.
It's not going to hurt anything.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's something then you didn't think was good enough for you, then may be good enough for somebody else.
Sure, that's great. So pretty simple then. They can get the kits from the pharmacies, collect it. Is there a time frame after a foal is born? Everybody wants that foal to get the mare's first colostrum, right?
Yes.
When is it recommended that you then collect colostrum?
Well, it's, Nathan Slovis and others will tell you more when the colostrum turning to milk and everything. But yeah, just let your foal nurse good once or twice, and usually they are nursing on one side. You may collect on the other side. Some mares are more prone to produce a little bit more than others. But I think most of us can, on site look at the colostrum and say, okay, there is a little bit more. There is, I need to just not collect on this mare. But as Nathan said during the meeting the other day, a mare is able to produce a liter of colostrum every hour. So, she should. There is a misconception over there that most of the mares don't have enough. They actually have more than the foal needs. But I would never advise a brood mare manager to over milk the mare. Just use your own judgment.
Sure.
And we don't need you to suck all your mares dry.
No. Don't do that.
We just need to, every of us to think that we can all do a little bit more.
Yeah. Again, back to that equine community. You got to support each other.
Exactly.
Well, that's good. And you're right. Dr. Slovis gave a great presentation at the Farm Managers Club meeting the other evening. And if people need access to that information or the slides, that's available through the Farm Managers Club. So they can have access to not to his talk, it wasn't recorded, but they have access to his slides, at least the information if they need it. So
Yeah, that's correct. And some things when you asked me earlier, when we didn't talk about, it's yes. So when you are donating a pint to Haggards or Riddle, you are able to get that pint back from another donor in the following 2 years. So if you give a pint right now, you'll be entitled to have a pint back in 2025 and 2026.
excellent.
So
Yeah.
there is a one-to-one donation. Because if not, a pint of colostrum is $160 in at least in Haggards. I don't know what's the price in Riddle. So, but if you have give and all the donations, it doesn't stay in the farm in the Haggards or Riddle. It's redonated, and if you have given some colostrum, you're entitled to have it back.
I'm glad you brought up that there is a cost to colostrum, because it isn't free if you need it, unless, like you said, you've donated a pint, you get a pint for a pint. Kind of like buying your buddy a beer, pint for a pint. We usually back and forth it, but the colostrum that's sold, I believe the funds go to support CKRH.
That is correct.
So again, supporting the equine community here in Central Kentucky.
That is correct.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else people need to know about donating colostrum? You think we got it covered?
I think we got it covered. I think it's a matter of always having that in the back of your mind. We are, again, not asking you to undermine your own newborn.
Right.
Take care of them first. But we all recognize when there is extra. We all recognize when we are all a little bit shy to give away. It's starting with me. It's starting with my brown mare manager. We all want to make sure that we have enough in the farm. This is only humans, and this is only normal. If you would give more than you should, you probably don't do your job right. But there is definitely enough out there that we are probably missing right now. And we want to recreate awareness. We want to reinvigorate every year that, this is a need that will never go away. Again, colostrum is gold. It's life.
Yep.
It's pretty much life.
It is life. Yeah, you're right.
The way we know how newborns are born with antibodies, and this is always going to be, a need. Maybe one day we'll be able to, produce some synthesizer. I don't know. But I remember I came in this country 22 years ago. I got picked up from the plane, and we went straight to one of those meetings. And the first thing I heard in this country was a need for colostrum, and the talk when Dr. Slovis had, there was somebody else, but that was the same talk. We are 22 years after, same needs at the same time. And it goes up and it goes down. Some years we have people who are donated a lot, and some years a little bit less. So it's important when we all recognize over the years that we need to give colostrum at all time. And this is why we are trying to reach out again this year to people and make sure that they understand that it's very important to the horse community and all those horses mainly.
Good. Roman, thank you for your time today. Appreciate it. We're going to use this to support the Farm Managers Club and their need for everybody's need for colostrum in the Colostrum Bank. So appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you to Always Fit to always keep us informed and helping the community to communicate and help the good cause.
Yeah. Well, yes, sir. Appreciate everybody. Have a good day.